Hi everyone, this is Andrew from Crown Academy of English. Today we're looking at internet slang and abbreviations. So people use a lot of slang and abbreviations when communicating on the internet or with text messages. Example, Jane writes, "What time will your meeting finish?" And Mark replies, IDK. And this means, I don't know. So we use these abbreviations because they are quick to type and they use less space. So in this video you will learn the most common English internet abbreviations. And just a quick warning, 2 of them contain strong language, swear words. So when something is funny, we can write LOL, laughing out loud, LMAO, laughing my ass off, ROFL, rolling on the floor laughing. So all of these means that you find something funny and you are laughing. Mark writes, "It's 3 a.m. and my neighbour is singing in the garden. He's crazy." And John replies, rolling on the floor laughing. Polite expressions. TY, thank you. TYVM, thank you very much. YW, you're welcome. NP, no problem. So Jane writes, "I passed the exam." Mark replies, "Congratulations." And Jane replies, "Thank you." And Mark replies, "You're welcome." To express surprise or shock. And these are the abbreviations which contain strong language. So WTH means what the hell. WTF, what the fuck. And OMG, oh my god. Example, Mark writes, "Have you heard the news? David has lost his job." And Claire replies, "Oh my god, that's terrible." To express disappointment or disgust in something or someone. SMH, shaking my head. And I'll show you what this represents in a minute. So Mark writes, "My boss wants me to work on Saturday." And Jane is not happy. Jane says, "Again, you worked last Saturday," shaking my head. So Jane is not happy that Mark has to work. So this is shaking my head. It's when you move your head to the left and then to the right, and then to the left and to the right. So you're disappointed and disgusted in something or someone. Okay? SMH. To announce something important. FYI, for your information. And we often see this abbreviation in informal business email messages. So an email message that is internal or just within the same company. Okay. So dear all, for your information, the parking spaces in front of the office are for customers only. Please do not park in these spaces. Thank you, Mr. Smith, CEO. Okay, FYI, for your information. When someone is giving their opinion. IMO means in my opinion. IMHO, in my humble opinion. Basically, the meaning is the same. This one is extremely polite and modest, but the meaning is the same. So Jane writes, "What do you think of David's new car?" And Claire writes, "In my humble opinion, his old car was better." if you think something is true, but you are not certain, you are not 100% sure. AFAIK. And this means as far as I know. Or IIRC if I remember correctly. So on an internet forum, Sarah writes, "What is the date of the concert?" And John replies, "Well, as far as I know, it's on the 15th of August. Or, if I remember correctly, it's on the 15th of August. So John, he's quite sure. He thinks it's the 15th of August, but he's not completely sure. Or simply when you do not know something, and we've already seen this one. IDK, I don't know. Is David coming to watch the match later? I don't know. FWIW, for what it's worth. So this means we use this when we want to say something even though we know that the other people are not interested. So let me try to give you an example of this. So Sarah does not like John. Sarah does not like John. John annoys me. He's always talking about how rich he is. So John is always talking about money. Sarah has a negative opinion about John. And David replies, well, for what it's worth, he gives a lot of money to charity. So David clearly has a positive opinion about John. But David knows that Sarah does not like John. So David knows that Sarah is not really interested about John giving money to charity. Okay, so that is why David writes, for what it's worth. He goes, so David is saying, John gives a lot of money to charity, but I know that you're probably not interested in that. For what it's worth. TBH, to be honest. And we say to be honest when we give our true opinion about something and we think that the other person will be disappointed. Okay, will be disappointed or will not agree with our opinion. So on an internet forum, Mark says or asks, has anyone else read the Harry Potter books? They're brilliant. And Claire replies, well, I thought they were boring, to be honest. So Claire is giving her honest opinion about the books, even though she knows the other people probably will not agree with her or will not like or be disappointed with her opinion, to be honest. BTW, by the way. And we say by the way when we change the subject of conversation. So somebody is talking about a particular subject, maybe someone is talking about football, and suddenly you start talking about cooking, for example. Let me give you another example. So Mark asks, how was the meeting with your boss? It was fine, thanks. So we can see here, Mark and Jane are talking about a meeting. And now, suddenly, Mark says, oh, by the way, I'll be late home tonight. So Mark is suddenly changing the subject. He's no longer talking about a meeting. Now he's talking about being late. So he writes, by the way. And Jane replies, NP, no problem. NSFW, not safe for work. So we write NSFW to describe a link to a website that is not appropriate to visit at work. Okay, so perhaps it contains strong language or adult content, maybe violence, yes, maybe some nudity. Okay, use your imagination. And so therefore, the people who receive the link will then know not to click the link if they are at work, or if they are with maybe some members of the family even. And so Mark sends an email to all his friends, and he says, if you like rap music, you'll love this song. And he writes, not safe for work. So he's telling his friends, basically, this is a rap song, but don't click this link if you're at work. So perhaps the rap song contains very strong language, or the video shows perhaps some violence. Okay? Telling people that you're absent and not able to reply. AFK. Away from keyboard. So I will not be at my computer for a while. Claire writes, away from keyboard. I'm going for a cigarette. We also have BRB. Be right back. I will be absent. This means I'll be absent for a short period of time. I will come back very soon. Example. Jane writes, I have to help Sarah with her homework. Be right back. This is a very common one. JK. And this means just kidding. So if you're kidding, if someone is kidding, it means they are joking. So it means I'm joking. I'm not being serious. So Mark writes, I'm not coming to the party tonight. I'm going to stay at home. And David asks why. And Mark replies, just kidding. Just kidding. I'll be there at 7 p.m. GL. Good luck. John writes, good luck with your interview. And Claire replies, thank you. Relationships. BF means boyfriend and GF, girlfriend. John asks, what are you doing later? And David replies, I'm going out for a drink with my girlfriend. Okay, so here's David with his girlfriend. Love. So this ILY means I love you. And an X, a single letter X, represents a single kiss. So this is not really an abbreviation, but it's a symbol that represents a kiss. So you can, we often send it in a text message, for example. And we can even write this in a birthday card, for example. If you send a birthday card to someone you love, at the bottom of the birthday card, you can write an X or several X's to represent a kiss or several kisses. So here we have an example. Jane writes, see you later, I love you. And Mark replies, I love you. And Jane replies with a kiss. Okay? So that's the end of the video. Please give it a like if you enjoyed it and it helped you, and perhaps even share it with other people if you think they'll like it too. And here are some other videos which I think you might enjoy. Thanks for watching.